Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for watching DC News Now. We are under an influence of high pressure taking over the DMV. The big weather question is how long this streak will last with temperatures very comfortable and low humidity. But I'm seeing changes in the forecast. Stay with us. I'll have that full forecast coming up.
Commemoration is about our values. This isn't changing history.
Tonight on DC News Now at 9, a 100-year-old Confederate Memorial could soon be taken down. We're live at Arlington National Cemetery with what the future holds.
And an animal rescue searching for 6 missing puppies they believe were kidnapped to be sold. We dig into the mystery of the disappearing dogs. Plus,
DC's 911 call center at the center of criticism for years. One public safety advocate says their mistakes have cost lives. Tonight, we dig into the allegations.
And good evening, DC. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at 9 on DC News Now. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Our top story tonight, more accusations of mismanagement at DC's 911 call center. Yeah,
so there are new claims that a dispatch mistake led to a man dying. Our Marielle Carbone is following this for us tonight.
Yeah, Marielle, today's criticism comes on the heels of a scathing report by the district auditor. It said little progress has been made to improve the call center.
Well, that's right. A new claim by a public safety advocate says that an error by a 911 operator delayed emergency services getting to a man in need. Now, this just happened over the last 2 weeks. Tonight, the mayor is responding to some mounting criticism over her decision in leadership for the agency.
3 911 calls made and 11 minutes lost in trying to get help to Jesse Kyle, a 69-year-old man who collapsed.
That's the claim by Dave Statter. He's a safety advocate known for his investigations into DC's 911 call center. He says it's the latest mishap by the agency, which has faced criticism over the last several years.
That I know of, this is the 6th time this year, 5 in the last 6 months, 10 of them in the last 3 years, where we know that there were delays at 911 when someone died.
An official with the Office of Unified Communications says Statter's narrative is not correct, but a request for more specific comment went unanswered. What we do know, according to a police report, on September 2nd, someone called 911 after a man collapsed on the ground. And that call came in at 10:21 a.m. By 11:11, he was pronounced dead at the hospital, and a police report was filed at 12:13 p.m.
When people call 911, oftentimes they're very sick, and sometimes there's nothing that we can do to help.
Wednesday, Mayor Muriel Bowser defended the agency.
Our call takers show up every single day to do their job in very stressful situations.
And while she says she doesn't know the specifics of this incident, she says Statter is cherry-picking calls to criticize as a way to push out the OUC's acting director, Karima Holmes.
They have management that doesn't work so well, and supervision and policies that may not be working well. Cherry picking is not what this is about. These are lives that were lost.
Now, in a statement, the deputy mayor's office tells us that this incident, it was immediately reviewed and corrective action was taken where needed. Reporting live in the district tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you. All new tonight, a desperate search for 6 missing puppies that need their mother to survive. Our Dave Laval joins us live from the Humane Rescue Alliance in Northwest D.C. And Dave, employees need the public's help to reunite these puppies with their mother.
That's right, Chris. It's not uncommon for the Humane Rescue Alliance to put animals into foster care before they're adopted. But something went wrong with a recent case. And now the Alliance needs your help to find them.
This is a really sad situation for our staff here at Humane Rescue Alliance.
6 5-week-old puppies are missing right now, and the Human Rescue Alliance is desperate to find them. They and another puppy disappeared with their mother, Godiva, around the middle of August. That's the last time the Alliance Vice President, Chris Schindler, said his staff saw them. They were taken home by a foster family.
Our staff are so heartbroken over this.
Godiva, according to Schindler, turned up August 30th along a section of Christmas Crittenden Street.
Godiva was found tied to a pole in northeast D.C.
Schindler said the staff found one of the puppies in a home September 10th, but he could not say if it was the home of the foster family. The one puppy found was reunited with its mother, as the search now focuses on the remaining 6. Schindler said time is of the essence.
They need nutrients from the mother. And especially considering Godiva was in underweight condition when she came into care, and so they even more so need additional nutrients from the mom. With puppies especially, it is incredibly hard to attempt to bottle feed them, and especially being born to a mother who was already malnourished.
What happened to the dogs upset animal lovers, including Latoya Phelps.
It's no reason for the animals to be mistreated.
The Rescue Alliance said its investigation is ongoing. It just wants the puppies returned.
You know, I would just ask that anyone who may be in possession of them to help give us the peace of mind and our staff to know that the puppies are okay.
Schindler told us the Rescue Alliance is reviewing all of its policies regarding foster families. You're asked to call the Rescue Alliance if you have any information regarding the puppies. There's a $7,500 reward for information leading to their safe return. Live in Northwest, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
And developing tonight, a double shooting in Washington, D.C.'s Petworth neighborhood. It happened this afternoon near the corner of Rock Creek Church Road and New Hampshire Avenue. Investigators are on the lookout for a red Kia Soul that took off from the scene. Stay with us for any updates both on air and online.
And new tonight, the days might be numbered for a Confederate memorial that has stood at Arlington National Cemetery for over 100 years.
Yeah, it comes after a government commission unanimously recommended its removal. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla joins us live from outside Arlington National Cemetery tonight.
Yeah, and Max, you were there for a while before the cemetery closed for the night, and the reception was pretty mixed.
Mixed is definitely how I would describe it. There were some people, when we brought up the recommendation, who said, yeah, it couldn't have come sooner. But then there were other people who basically sighed and said, look, they're just erasing our history. But erasing our history is exactly how the commission that recommended the memorial's removal, they say that's not what's happening.
Decades after the Civil War ended, this memorial was unveiled at the nation's largest military resting site. This photo from 1914 shows veterans leaving its unveiling ceremony. And more than 100 years later, the naming commission formed by Congress is recommending its removal.
And if there's one thing that commemorates the Confederacy more than just about anything we've seen, it's this monument.
Retired Brigadier General Ty Sigely, the vice chair of the naming commission, says the message the monument conveys is clear. Among the symbols, 2 figures of enslaved people and a Latin quote that translates to, "The victorious cause was pleasing to the gods, but the lost cause to Cato."
And in a way, it's saying that they were right, that the Confederates were right, and the United States is wrong.
In 2020, Congress authorized the commission to review Confederate assets on military bases. Sigely says people should trust the bipartisan nature of the commission.
So we have Republicans, Democrats, former military, defense intellectuals. We're a very diverse group in every way you would think that Americans are diverse, and yet we came together to do this mission.
There are plenty who oppose the recommendation, including Diane Brills, who was visiting from Florida.
All history should be recognized, and it should not be removed.
But Sigely has a message for them.
They're still going to teach the Battle of Chancellorsville at West Point, and Lee is still going to win every year. But this is about commemoration, about our values.
Look, when we were out here, some people said they just didn't want to share their opinion on camera since this has become such a controversial issue, not only here, but across the country in the last couple of years. As for the future of the memorial here at Arlington, because the commission was authorized by Congress, there's not another vote it needs to take. Instead, it'll just go to the Defense Secretary, who can sign off on plans where they will consider how and when to potentially remove the statue. Reporting live outside of Arlington National Cemetery, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Max, thank you. And after a year-long review, Fairfax County is changing the names of Lee and Lee Jackson highways, so they'll now be called Route 29 and Route 50, respectively. The move comes after a task force submitted recommendations back in December. The highways are among 150 sites in Fairfax County that have names with Confederate ties. And all long-distance Amtrak routes are canceled tomorrow, just so you know, ahead of what could be the first major rail strike in 30 years. Members of one major union rejected a deal with the largest U.S. freight railroads days ahead of Friday's strike deadline. Now, workers from across the country are arguing for better pay and better hours.
All right, here comes the weather. Today was about as perfect as it can get. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb.
Hey, Janessa, hopefully Saturday is really nice for H Street Festival.
Yeah, man, you're looking far ahead. Yes, today is Wednesday, so we do need to look at the weekend. Sunny days, they are going to continue into the weekend, into next week. We're on just a wonderful stretch of just calm weather, so little to no precipitation expected. But as we transition into the weekend, we are going to see dew points. They are going to steadily increase. High temperatures today below average, 81 for the district. Our surrounding areas from Loudoun, Fairfax, Montgomery, Prince George's County, you hovered around 80 to 81 degrees. But the farther west you went, upper 70s in a few spots. And then our friends in Kaiser, the cool spot to Woodstock, 63 to 72. So our temperatures remain all over the place. And the reason for that, you have the higher terrain and the lower elevation. And so that really helps with the temperature difference and almost a microclimate situation that's happening across the DMV. Very quiet satellite composite radar, no green showing up, and really no white, which shows the cloud coverage that's just not intact across the area that has swept offshore, and that big old H high pressure is going to continue to make its way north and east. So our friends in PA are about to really feel all this sunshine, and then it will stagger on top of us, allowing us to continue with this stretch. Now, highs will continue to drop a few degrees going into your Thursday, but we are jumping up at the extended outlook that I've looked at very thoroughly. It does look like summer wants to make a big time comeback. We'll check out that forecast coming up.
All right, Janessa, thanks. Well, tonight we're working to learn why a person drove their car into a security barrier at the Naval Observatory in Northwest D.C. This area just feet away from the vice president's home in Glover Park. Shut down a portion of Wisconsin Avenue for several hours today. D.C. police and hazmat crews assisted Secret Service, but found nothing dangerous and said there was no risk to the public. Happening now, thousands of people visit Sugarloaf Mountain every year, but a vote by the Frederick County Council could change all that. Michaela Newton covers Frederick for us and has an update on Frederick's Sugarloaf rezoning plan.
Right now, there's a big divide over the future of a landmark in Frederick, Maryland, Sugarloaf Mountain. The city council heard new amendments to Sugarloaf Plan Tuesday. Some say Sugarloaf Mountain is essential to Frederick County's legacy and that it offers multiple things for people to do, like bike, hike, and do other activities, while others say it's time for development. The current rezoning plan paves the way for more development, but with restrictions. Councilman Phil Dacey proposed two changes in the meeting, one of which would remove the mountain from the plan. Dacey says he wants to preserve the areas of farmland.
Sugarloaf Mountain is a privately owned mountain. A lot of people don't realize that because people enjoy it like a public park, and it's largely utilized like a public park. It's a great deal for Frederick County residents. They get to enjoy the entire mountain. There are classes that go there, public schools take trips there. So there's a lot of activities on the mountain. This is at no cost to the taxpayers of Frederick County.
Councilman Phil Dacey and Kai Hagan were on opposite sides of the controversial issue. Hagan saying if there is no development, the area will turn into an island.
We've been told the county will somehow suffer economically if we don't develop this small stretch of the west side of 270 will be, negligent and hurt the county economically. Montgomery County hasn't touched it.
People who live near the mountain aren't happy about the changes either.
I am one of those property owners. I live right on Route 80, right across from the developer's land. My farm sits across from his, and if this amendment passes, what will it do to the value of my farm?
We reached out to Stronghold for an interview, but they declined to comment. Reporting in Frederick, Maryland, Michaela Newton, DC News Now.
And bold thieves are swiping wheels off cars all across the DMV. We actually go on a ride along with one man who's trying to help stranded drivers.
And after 2 sex assault cases at Loudoun County High School, I'll tell you about a new plan to keep students safe.